going to find. She just has an incredible gift. Now, before Stephanie White was head coach of the Indiana Fever, she said some things like this about Caitlin Clark. The difference between the two, one actually practices what they preach. One actually, you see their words translate into actions, while the other one's words translate into crossed arms and tweaking on the sideline.
Very clear about something. Cheryl Reeve did not accidentally wander into this conversation. She did not slip up. She did not get ambushed by a reporter into saying something she did not mean. Reeve is a calculated, measured, highly intelligent head coach. When she opens her mouth in front of a microphone, it is intentional. Every word is placed. And when she chose to contrast her own offensive philosophy, her trust in her point guards, decision-making with what she sees happening in Indiana, that was a deliberate choice. She wanted that comparison to be heard. She wanted people to think about it.
Reeves has been putting on an absolute clinic. Okay, an absolute clinic when it comes to handling a young superstar talent point guard. Okay, and everything she's been doing with Olivia Miles, it's the total opposite of what you are getting. It's the total opposite of what you are getting from Stephanie White and the Indiana Fever. And I think Cheryl Reeves has been putting on an absolute clinic and exposing Stephanie White in the.
And when Cheryl Reeves says something like that, you stop, you listen, because this is not some anonymous social media account. This is not a talking head on a panel looking for a hot take. This is a 4-time WNBA champion, coach with a resume that speaks for itself. And she has something to say about how Caitlin Clark is being handled in Indiana.
Coach, a lot of times she'll say, what do you want me to look for? And I say, whatever your instincts tell you is there. I don't coach her passing at all. I try to stay out of the way of that. We try to play call to feature, some of the things that we know she's going to find. She just has an incredible gift on the instincts of who's open, when they're open, just sees it before everybody else. And so timing is so crucial. If you've got a shooter open, that by the time it touches their fingers, they can let it go. Because if you're a tick late, defender has a chance to get back to you, that shot looks different. Pick and roll game, etc. It's a gift. That's what we talked about. It's a generational gift. You just don't see it very often. And obviously she makes things easier for her teammates.
And
Cheryl
when Cheryl Reeves says not complicated, like that, you stop. You listen. Actually, simple. This is not her some position anonymous. Is that Caitlin social Clark media account has a very specific this is not skill a talking set, head on generational looking for shooting, hot take, elite court vision. This is a 4-time WNBA champion. In this league, a resume that speaks for itself, and that the offensive system currently being run in Indiana Caitlin Clark is not built to maximize any of those things. Reeve praised her own point guard's decision-making in a press conference. And the contrast to Stephanie White's approach was not subtle, but was direct. It was pointed. And anyone who follows this lead closely understood exactly what she was saying.
This is the worst backcourt and the worst coach in the WNBA. And then the haters are so hypocritical. Let's give a brief intermission to the haters, bro. Now that I'm agreeing with the haters, they disagreeing with me, agreeing with the original point that I made. You can't make this up. All Indiana Fever fans, I just want to let y'all know. And y'all, listen, y'all don't even have to listen to me or agree with me. That's fine. But I see the writing on the wall because I've been telling y'all. You think I'm lying? Go back and look. As long as we have Stephanie White as the coach, we're going to continue to lose. As long as we got Kelsey Mitchell doing what she's doing, hogging the ball, going 7 for 21, not looking for nobody, not trying to pass. As long as she keeps doing that, we're going.
When one of the best coaches in WNBA history voluntarily walks into a presser and starts drawing offensive philosophy comparisons, you are not talking about basketball in the abstract. You are talking about a specific player in a specific situation, and that player is Caitlin Clark.
Reeve doesn't leave her guard on an island. See Courtney back to the baseline in the gap, making sure Canada can't drive. On reversal, Olivia doubles Ryan Howard. Coffee splits the passing lane while Courtney scrambles to the corner and Olivia comes to pressure. Now, the point of this whole thing is Stephanie White wants to switch 1 through 5, which is absolute asinine, where you don't have a bunch of like-sized players. You're getting 5'9" guards switched on the 6'6" centers. You're getting Aaliyah Boston stuck on 5'8" point guards at the 3-point line. It's just ridiculous. And Cheryl Reeve is showing you
And think about what it actually means for Clark to be misused at this level. She is not a role player being shifted around a rotation. She is the reason people are tuning in. She is the reason arenas are selling out. She is the reason the WNBA's ratings numbers have reached levels the league has not seen in decades. And right now, she is playing in a system that is actively working against what makes her extraordinary. That is not a minor coaching adjustment issue, that is a structural failure.
Both Becky Hammon and Stephanie White have been fined for their comments and agreeing with Cheryl Reeve's statements and that post-game presser that aided in her suspension. Yeah.
I mean, I think that she made a lot of valid points. A lot of the same kind of conversations are happening. It's happening from every team, from every franchise, from every coach, from every player. And I think at some point there has to be some accountability.
Here's the part that makes Reeve's commentary land even harder. Cheryl Reeve and Stephanie White are not strangers. They are not rivals who have been taking shots at each other since day one. Fact. Back in September 2025, Stephanie White went to bat for Reeve when Reeve was suspended and fined $15,000 for her explosive officiating. Rant during the WNBA playoffs, White stood up publicly and said she supported Reeve's position. She said she had already been fined for standing behind Cheryl, and she called it outrageous. She wore that fine like a badge of honor. She did not have to do that. Nobody forced her. She did it because she believed in what Reeve was saying. She did it because she respected her. That makes what is happening right now all the more striking, because when someone who publicly backed you, who took a financial hit to defend you, starts questioning your coaching decisions, that is not a competitor talking. That is someone who knows you, who has stood by you, who is now looking at what you are doing and saying this is not right. That is a very different kind of criticism, and it is the kind that sticks.
Not seeing pick and rolls. We're not best utilizing Aaliyah Boston's skill set being the roller. We're running ISO with Kelsey Mitchell. We're running ISO with Caitlin Clark. We're not sending her any screens. We're not sending her any off-ball screens. And defensively, switching everything. Oh, wow, we had one good game before we didn't switch everything. Wow. Color me shocked. Cheryl Reeve came out in a press conference and heaped praise upon Olivia Miles. Said, nah, just let her play. I trust my point guard's instinct. I trust my point guard's decision-making. While you have Stephanie White, who does the complete opposite.
The tape does not lie. When Caitlin Clark has the freedom to operate, when she has space, movement, off-ball screens, and the green light to shoot off the catch and off the dribble, she is virtually unguardable. That we saw it at Iowa. We saw it in her rookie season in Indiana, when the system was more fluid, when she was trusted to be the engine of the offense.
Everybody had something to say over the weekend because of the huddle with Caitlin, Stephanie White. We've got Twitter just going out. Everybody's losing their mind. You were there. What happened?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, there's frustration. I think we noticed they were trying to pick on Caitlin a little bit on defensive end. She was getting called for some fouls that, fouls aren't fun. She got in some foul trouble. Her team got into some foul trouble, and that's just all it was. I think that's part of the game. There's frustrations that rise, and decisions have to be made. And ultimately, this wasn't something that carried on. This is in the moment, something that happened, and not something that is talked about now in our locker room, talked about even later on in the game. That's just something that happened. And unfortunately, Caitlin's got a camera on her 24/7, and so you see every little thing. But this happens almost every day in women's basketball, so not something that we're worried about at all.
We're jaw-dropping. But this season, if you have been watching closely, you have seen something different. Clark is not hunting her shot the same way. She is spending more possessions playing through a structure that does not fit her rhythm. She is not getting the kind of off-ball movement that gives her the half-second of separation. She needs to get her shot off at the elite level, and for a player whose entire offensive game is built on creating advantages with just a fraction of daylight, that half-second is everything. Cheryl Reeve sees it. She coached against Clark. She has watched the film, and she knows the way only a coach with 4 championship rings can know. That what is happening in Indiana is not just a slump. It is a system that was never designed to unlock what Clark does best.
The point guard makes a turnover, she's quick to yank. The point guard gets 3 quick assists, she's quick to yank. The point guard makes 3 straight threes, she's quick to yank. While Cheryl Reeve is saying, play your game. Play. Sounds like a player who's gotten the green light from their coach. Hey, play your game. You'll turn it over. It's okay. You'll turn it over. It's okay. And Olivia Miles like, yeah, I don't want to turn it over. I don't want to turn it over because my teammates don't like it. But hey, if it happens, it happens. But I'm not going to think about it all the damn time, because the more I think about it, it's going to happen. Meanwhile, Stephanie White is just jamming it into Caitlin Clark's head. Don't turn it over. 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 Up, yank.